Hey guys, welcome back to another episode with talking to other realtors from across country in different cities that we do visit along our journey. Today we're again in Regina and we have Raj here from the same brokerage as Ajit we had earlier. Raj, introduce yourself, let us know about you.
Yeah, myself is Raj Verma. I am a real estate associate broker in Regina with the Home Life Crawford Realty. I am with the Crawford Realty for about 12 years and I am doing real estate from 2003. Earlier I was in Ontario and I enjoy my work. I love this life.
And see, that's interesting because I am a realtor from Ontario and I'm looking at other cities across Canada to showcase to you guys. And Raj actually has the expertise and the experience not only within Toronto, but here in Regina for many years now. Raj, so tell us a little bit more about your real estate journey, transitioning from Ontario to Regina, and how did you find the real estate market here compared to Ontario?
This is a totally different market. This is just a small sector of the real estate. We are in a small city as compared to if I go with the Toronto area or any city near the Toronto. We have just a 220,000 people population in the city. Although it's a capital city of the province, but it's an active market and we enjoy here and love here. And this is a good market.
Awesome. So for with your local experience within the industry itself, how do you see the future trend for the real estate market in the residential point of view?
It's a always growing market as many people are now moving from the bigger city to the smaller city, and this one the city who people love to come in. This is a peaceful life, small city, and if it is a job sector, you go with the government computer job or something, we have a more potential as compared to the Toronto area or GTA area to get the jobs.
Mm-hmm. And in terms of property valuations and appreciation, I know in Toronto areas, the property valuations are quite inflated and they're way more expensive compared to here. How is the appreciation itself year over year in the regional market?
The average appreciation is I go with the national appreciation level or whatever the percentage says. This is generally 3 to 5%, and we are doing very good with that one. But the last 1 year, it is growing much. I will say it's about 15% appreciation from last year to this year, and there's a lot of activity going on. Even in the last couple months, we were doing the same Toronto bidding war here for the properties. Property come in the market, sold in 2 days.
Wow. And so in that aspect, it's very similar to what's happening in Toronto because same over there, about 15-20% is what the properties have appreciated in the last year and a half. And again, bidding wars, as you guys know, has been a very, very active thing within the industry there. Now, looking at from a perspective of how COVID affected it. So in Toronto, it moved people away from the condo apartments and they went more towards the detached property or semi-detached property, because if you got to be locked down into a property, you rather be locked down in a house rather than an apartment. Well, how did COVID affect the market here?
And this is totally different than if I compare with the condo market here and in the Toronto, because in condo there is a big apartment buildings or the large number. Here we don't have any much high-rise buildings. Generally their buildings are 3 floor, 4 floor or 5 floor. Couple of buildings we have only high-rise. And yeah, little bit difference is there. Who people were living in the condo, they want to move in individual, so you have minimum public contact with the other. But otherwise totally different. But if you go with the price, we are not general price. I will say average house price, if you go with the old houses like 20-30 years, I will say 300 to 400,000. And if you go with the brand new house also, brand new house about 1500 to 2000 square feet, 3 bedroom, 2.5 washroom, double attached car garage, I will say it's ranging from $450,000 to $600,000.
Wow. And Roger's actually an expert in residential and that to pre-construction as well, because just within the last 6 months he sold over 40 units in pre-construction alone. Talk a little bit more about the pre-construction market here in Regina. How is that going, and are people looking towards buying more pre-construction over here, or are they looking to buy already built houses?
It is, I will say this, I give them the term generation gap. What happened here in last couple years, I will say last 7 to 10 years, the newcomers, people who came like the students or other people who got the PR, they are not going now for the resale houses. Everybody want to go for the brand new houses. So brand new market is very good here, and there are a couple builders. My Home Life Crawford broker also owns the Crawford Homes company. He is here building the houses from last 43 years.
Wow.
And we build almost 60% inventory every year in the town.
Wow.
And we are going busy, damn crazy.
Wow. That's amazing. Now, in terms of the rental market, because I know a lot of people that are going to be watching this, they're going to be looking at perspective of investing long term, where they can buy and hold the property here, whether it's renting it out to local people with families or students, or even doing Airbnb. How is the rental market here in Regina with what you've noticed?
The rental market is pretty good as compared to the national level if you go, because our rentals are very cheap as compared to the big city, and investment on the rental property is also comparatively cheap as compared to the big city. So it's a good market. Only the thing is you have to find a good either your property manager, or you have to be here to manage the property. Yes, it's we have a lot of customers who are living other cities, and they have a lot of investment properties here.
Okay. Awesome. Now, looking from a perspective of a first-time home buyer, I know Ajit covered it a little bit in terms of incentives, but you work residential more primarily compared to Ajit. What are some of the incentives or some of the things that would be a benefit to a first-time home buyer buying in Regina?
If I go with the first-time home buyer incentive, like in GTA area, they give you some credit on your taxes. It is not here, but the province is giving some grant from 5 to 10% to the graduates who have graduated from here, have job here. And this is a loan for 10 years. But they are giving you 5 to 10% down payment if you want to buy a house. And the second, as the Trudeau last 2 years ago, he gave that 10% down payment on the new or old houses. You can get that also. If you qualify for 10%, you can get 10% from the government. It's a CMSE backed up program, which is with you for the time you want it. Whenever you will sell the property, you have to pay that 10% back of the selling value.
Oh, so it's the selling value, not the amount that you got it originally.
Because you are not paying any interest, but you are affordable for the 10% more property value with that property, with that benefit.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense, and again, of course, the government has to make its money back.
Again, they are getting the same money back. You are not paying any interest for 10 years. And it's both thing. Whether you are losing, whether you are gaining, you have to pay 10% of the selling value.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. Now, in terms of from a realtor perspective, because I'm from Ontario and I'm primarily still working in Ontario. You've actually come from Ontario and you've started your life here and became a professional realtor here in Regina. From a realtor to a realtor, if somebody is watching that wants to transition from Ontario to Regina, what are some of the regulations, some of the hurdles they have to go through, and what are some of the problems that they would face moving into Regina?
I don't think there is any problem in moving. Only the thing you have to set up the mind, because if you come from Ontario, you are dealing with the millions number. Here you have to deal with 100,000 only, not the million. Only that's the difference. Otherwise, life is very easy here.
Yeah, and so going back to the life aspect, even Ajit mentioned as well, the quality of life in Regina, it's more pushed upon people. Not even pushed, but it's what is what they appreciate more compared to having a really busy work life. Because again, in GTA and Toronto area, you're constantly working, you're constantly trying to hustle, you're trying to make fortune for you and your family. But over here, like he was mentioning in a car ride here, after 6 p.m., you don't see people, working.
You feel in the evening, you feel here that here is evening after 6 p.m. You will not see the much traffic on the roads. Even if I go with the 10 p.m., after 10 p.m., you will have only 5% traffic on the road. So people are enjoying here. It's a small city, small community, and people are more cooperative and helping as compared to the big, I will not name the GTA, but all big cities, because people don't have that much stress as the people have here. Simple, I can give you example. If you are in the winter, there is a snow, your car is stuck. Nobody will pass by from you without helping. He will come out, ask you, do you need any help? Can I do something for you? That is the best part. In Ontario, people always say F word to say that why you are on the road sitting blocking the traffic. That's the difference.
They get mad at you over there. Why are you taking so long to move out of the way?
So that's the difference. Here everybody want to help you if you are stuck.
Awesome. Now there's a lot of first-time home buyers, and there's a lot of younger generation like myself, millennials, that are coming into the workforce, and they're starting to start their lives here in Canada. But unfortunately, because they live in the GTA area or even Vancouver area, they're not able to save as much year over year as compared to what the appreciation of these properties is going up, because the valuation is so high. In Regina, it's a whole different market. Can you talk a little bit about that?
I will suggest for the now the teenager generation who have the job or the business, I will say simply that if you have a computer job in Toronto also, you're getting $100 or $110,000. You are getting $110,000 here in Regina also. Here you can buy a house for a $400,000, where you cannot buy even a $1.4 million. So where you would like to stay?
Yeah.
You have the same income, still you are living in Canada, and you have the same expenses.
Yeah.
But it is your decision what you want to. Some people want to live in the metro city, that's fine. Otherwise, I think I'm happy in this small city after moving from the Toronto area also.
Yeah, because again, in looking at from a national perspective, national average perspective, especially in the GTA area, any family earning any amount of income, about 50%, 50 point something percent of what they're earning in the family household is going straight into the mortgage. It's going straight into.
I will say I can show you the people more than 80% who are putting more than 80% of their annual income toward the house to survive because they want to live in the GTA area.
Yeah. It's quite sad, like, because the quality of life starts depreciating year over year, and that stress kicks in, and as you get older and older, it only gets worse for you.
And if you go with the financials, I mean the Bank of Canada, their stress test rule or their affordability rule, if you pay more than 32% of your annual income towards your house, you cannot survive.
Yeah.
But our people are putting more than 60-70% of annual income towards the house.
Because they don't have a choice. And I think one of the biggest problems with that is that people don't have the information readily available. They don't have a good understanding of what these regional or local markets are across Canada.
I think even the GTA people have also started moving from the GTA hub toward the suburbans.
Yes.
Like some other, that's the reason.
Yes.
Because they cannot afford in the GTA area, they are moving in the suburbans.
Yep. Which is why you guys see, areas like St. Catharines,
St.
Niagara,
Catherine, Kitchener, Gulf, Windsor, London, and other nearby communities.
Yeah, people are moving there, and that's why a lot of these bidding wars and a lot of these crazy valuations are happening in those areas, not because everyone's trying to get away from the GTA area into those. But here in Regina, if you're earning the same amount of job, if you've got an online job, you can have that quality of life and not have to worry about, oh my God, I gotta pay more than half my money just to a mortgage. Because over here, you pay more. You have the time to invest. You have the financial burdens taken back, so you can actually invest into a proper future for you and your family. Now, another question I want to ask you. In terms of pre-construction, I know that lumber pricing was a huge factor across GTA with builders asking homeowners that have bought the pre-construction from them to pay a little bit higher premium because they didn't predict that lumber prices would go so high and their margins are getting affected now. Did that transition over here in Regina or no?
No, it is there, but what my experience I say is I'm working with the builder. We are not asking the people already signed the contract with us. We will honor those contracts. But yeah, definitely we are increasing the price on the new contracts which we are writing or which are in the process. Because now we know how much increase is there. But on contracts we have already written, we will honor that without any price increase.
See, that's the difference, because a lot of the realtors are, a lot of the builders in GTA area and a lot of the home buyers that have bought from these builders, they're actually getting this kind of negative repercussion of buying with some of these builders, because now they're saying, hey, look, like, we can't meet our margins, so you got to pay a little higher premium to subsidize the costs.
I will not comment on that anything. That's a business. That is their business model, how they want to work. But again, it can happen if it's beyond control. You have to share some expenses with the buyers. But again, it's your business model, what you want.
Now, from a perspective of an investor coming in from a big town like from GTA area, investing, would you recommend someone living there, staying there, and just buying property here to invest in with, and then keep it up for property management, whether they're renting on Airbnb or they're renting it out to a family here?
This is again, I told you, this is your choice how you want to manage the property. You want to manage yourself or you want to hire some company. But when you are hiring some company, you have to shortlist them. You have to scrutinize them, who is the good, better or best. Yeah, if it is your good decision, yes, you make the money. Again, I tell the investors as a realtor, I'm doing this from last 17 years. When you are investing in the property, if it's a rental income, keep in mind that you are getting rent for 10 months, not the 12 months. Because there may be some shortcomings. There may be vacancy. There may be some unseen repairs. So keep 2-3 months rent spare for the repairs and the maintenance of the property. Don't take whole month rent as an income. And again, when you are investing, there is a cap rate, so you're getting 7 or 8% return, and plus the appreciation. Don't think you will get the 20% return on your investment.
Of course. And now, from a perspective from a realtor to another realtor, there was a huge problem within the industry of new realtors coming in and getting themselves established, because there's such an abundance of realtors in Toronto, right? Just within the Toronto Regional Real Estate Board, which I'm part of, I'm a member of, there's I think north of 60,000 members that are part of that. So there's a huge abundance of realtors that are just in the entire industry. Now, as a new realtor starting in that industry, it's a lot harder to get yourself established. Over here in Regina, how would that translate over?
It is easy. The difference between the Toronto area realtors and here realtors, here only that realtor can survive who is doing the full-time job. In Toronto, 30% people are part-time realtor. Here, no part-time realtor works.
Okay.
It cannot work.
Okay.
If you want to come in this industry, you should be 100% realtor for the whole day, not a part-time job. Then you will survive. And we are not that much number. I will say we have only 1,500 realtor in the whole province, maybe 450 in Regina only. But all 450 are 100% active realtor,
working.
not the part-time realtor. So when you are doing any job full-time, you will survive.
Awesome. Thank you. So guys, that has been it. Last question I want to ask you is, based on the conversation we've had, based on what we're trying to offer to people, because this is more of so a informative, journey that we went on to showcase properties and local markets across Canada as our team travels to these places. What are some things that you can advise, or some things that you would want to share from your end to the people that are watching about the regional market?
Again, my just advice will be, if somebody has a salaried job in any sector, which he can find in other small cities also, it's better to move. Still you are living in Canada. It's for some people only Toronto and Vancouver is a Canada. Not that is not a Canada. We are also living in Canada. We enjoy Canada, and we have more nature loving people here and more cooperative. And try to live in a small city. You will enjoy it.
And guys, quality of life. Quality of life is key for long-term happiness and long-term prosperity. Quality of life and the stress, peace of mind is key.
Yeah. And we have I will say, you can ask with the Toronto people, how many times they go for a fun for the parks, for the rides or something. Here, every weekend, you come in the summer, you will not see any people in the house. They are all going on the lakes and the parks to enjoy.
There you go. So that has been it, guys. That has been the episode with Raj. Thank you again so much. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for all you guys watching and taking the time out of your days to learn a little bit more about other markets available to you in Canada. As always, if you have any questions, any concerns, any comments, anything you'd like to recommend, put it down below. Raj's information, his brokerage information, all of his contact information will always be down below as well. And once again, thank you so much, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.